In fact, I even think that we should bring back, you know, public executions on certain people. No, but think about it. I think that, and you guys should laugh.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is the fourth installment of, I guess, what you would call a series, exposing these little demonic liberals. I still have clips, guys, where I can make another video after this one. You guys let me know. I mean, I do want to get them documented, but I feel like putting up 5 videos in a row is just a little bit much. I'm sure you guys maybe are getting a little bit fed up of just negativity after I was storing up positivity, and now I've slammed you guys at 3 negative videos in a row. This will be the 4th. So we will probably take a little break from these type of clips after this video and jump into something a little bit more positive. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not exactly ready to let this whole Charlie Kirk situation go as of yet, but I also don't want to just put out negative energy, even though these people deserve to have their faces exposed. It's just, I don't know. I feel we may need a little break. You guys let me know what you think in the comments below. Besides that, let's get into it.
I just want to say that I feel sorry for Charlie Kirk's family, the emotions they're going through, and the fact that they know that their father's going to hell because he didn't take time to redeem himself from being such a hateful person. So, hopefully the family can learn from this, not be as hateful as he was, and maybe the wife can be free now because she doesn't feel owned by her husband. So, good luck going forward for the rest of the family, and that's too bad for Charlie, who's going down under to live with the devil.
Well, I guess that's what happens when your entire career is just talking out of the side of your fucking neck.
It was really brutal seeing him get shot. Have we not all been live streaming the same genocide for the past 3 years now? Have you not seen limbs of children hanging off buildings? Have you not seen kids get shot by Israeli soldiers in the fucking face for doing nothing? And that's all this man stood for, killing Palestinians and school children.
Do you know Charlie Kirk's favorite band?
I want to say Green Day.
Neck Deep. His second favorite band? Nickelback.
Those are the two places the guy was going to hit.
True. Nickelback.
Neck or back.
He was really neck and neck for who I hated more, him or Trump.
Right now he's butt naked on Mortician's.
Jesus.
He's probably trying to tell them not do abortion.
So he'll find her. He'll come back to life to be like, make sure you don't abort anything.
Charlie.
Rest in peace, Charlie.
Charlie, you stay in there.
No more.
So I was driving through my community, West Hollywood, and I noticed that the rainbow flag was flying at half-mast, and I almost lost my mind. I mean, this is what this man said about the LGBTQ community. He'd rather see them dead. But then I thought, you know, this proves that my community is about kindness, and the Christian community, it's just all about hate. And who to hate. And I'd much rather be in my community.
Let me be the first to remind all these little sympathetic people, you know, having the sin of empathy, that violence is not the answer, is state sanctioned, so that they're the only ones that can commit violence. Remember? Okay? So your government can't look at you and say, violence isn't the answer. You are not allowed to kill people. That's not right. And then look at you and be like, oh, but you can kill people for us. 18, get in here, come kill people for us. Oh, how do we solve our problems? Oh, we don't sit down and have conversations about them. We go to war. But if you do war, bad. You fight back, bad. Sweet, sweet little babies. That's called systematic oppression. So it's wild. It's wild that they've convinced you guys that you are allowed to be hit 100 times. But if you hit bad, you're the morally bad one. This is so that we feel bad and we don't do anything. Fuck that guy. The only good Nazi's a dead one.
Once again, I mean, I've said it before, but you liberals really should look up historically what a Nazi is. Charlie Kirk was the farthest thing from a Nazi. When you were trying to call like Trump and ICE agents, trying to like compare all them to Nazis, it made a little bit more sense, even though it has nothing to do with Nazis. but you guys were a little bit more in the right direction of trying to fool everybody that, we're living under a dictatorship and all the rest of it. You're pointing out Charlie Kirk. You guys are truly just trying to take little snippets of video clips, making it fit your narrative. I'm pretty sure majority of you out there know that you're spewing absolute bullshit. For those of you that are just trusting what your liberal influences are saying to you, or you're just watching these snippets from Charlie Kirk videos and believing that he was actually racist or a Nazi, well, then you're just not too bright. But what I'm hearing out of this video, what she's trying to get to, where she's talking about systematic oppression and trying to justify that citizens have the right, if they're being oppressed, that they have the right to turn to violence to get rid of their oppressors. But she's trying to bring it down a level. She's trying to look at it on a government level, trying to bring it down a level, justifying that the person that shot Charlie Kirk had every right to, because that person felt oppressed, because somebody like Charlie Kirk, who speaks the truth, hurt that individual's feelings. Basically justifying speech that they hate hearing. They want to be able to label it as hate speech. That way they feel like, hey, this person is hurting me. They're hurting my feelings. We have every right to remove this person's life. Do you guys really not sit there and listen to yourselves? When you guys record these videos and you look at it from start to finish, how do you really sit there and go, yeah, I got my point across and it makes sense? Because it's truly insane. You guys are truly a few screws short in your brain. About 6 cans short of a six-pack. I usually say 5 cans short of a six-pack. You guys are truly 6 cans short of a six-pack at this point. I mean, really look at what Charlie Kirk talked about on campuses. The main 2 things that he did speak of, besides religion and whatnot, but the main 2 things that he contested liberals on and far leftists on was rights to abortion and when it came to transgenderism. So because he sat there and told people the truth, he didn't fall into fantasy land with them. He didn't pretend to validate their fantasies, to validate their feelings. He told them the honest truth, right down the middle. I mean, would you really want somebody to sit there and lie to you? The answer should be no, but it seems like most people that lean far left, the answer to them is yes. They would rather live a comfortable lie than an uncomfortable truth. But by the end of it all, the person who pulled that trigger felt justified to do so. And the worst part about it is the surrounding crowd. I don't mean physically there on the campus. I mean the surrounding crowd in that leftist bubble, the super woke Fantasyland bubble. They felt justified as well, and they feel that they had the right to celebrate. I mean, all of you liberals out there, especially the woke ones, you far, far left ones, super duper progressive ones that really want to live in a fantasy woke land, have to truly respect the position that people on the right have taken over the past few years, because you guys are offended that we won't validate your truths. And you really got to think about it. It's your truth. It's not reality. What you guys have done over the past few years is infringed on people's realities, and nobody has stepped up to lift a finger to you guys. But now that one of yours, and yes, it's been proven, lefties, it's one of yours. We've known that before it was actually even confirmed, but yeah, it's one of yours. Now that one of yours has taken out somebody on our side, a really good man, no matter how much you guys want to try and deny that, he was a great man, a very good, honest soul. You guys have taken one step over the line that you really shouldn't have. You've pushed it a little bit too far this time, but the problem is you guys are too blind and dumb to truly realize that that's what you've done, that you've pushed it too far. And now you guys want to double down. You wanted to jump in front of cameras, hit that record button, and rub salt in the wound. What do you think happens when you poke the bear just one too many times?
Charlie Kirk, you're in the lower fucking room, bitch. Oh, fucking finally. You bitches starting to move and shake, bitch. It's in your real fucking shooter. Stop sitting. Y'all gonna sit in damn. Oh, thank you. And then people talking about some words can't hurt you. That's why we're in a situation now, because y'all still think that. If words couldn't change and alter how you think, why the fuck are there motivational speakers? They're literally motivational speakers for evil. That's what the fuck they are. Start shutting them the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. It's time to shut the fuck up. Shut this shit the fuck up. And y'all have this big fucking MAGA rally with your MAGA hats on. Yeah, this is what the fuck is gonna happen to you if y'all keep this shit up. We're done. They're done. They finally starting to move and finally starting to shake. And sending their real hitters out. Because you can't make no shot like that off of off of practicing at the gun range, I'll tell you that much.
In light of recent events, for all my beautiful septum wearers out there, if someone comes into your comments saying, septum piercing theory confirmed, just respond with, yeah, I'd actually prefer this metal pierce my body.
On a lie, say, look here, man, let me tell you something, and I'm gonna say this from my mouth. If I lose my job, I'm not fucking worried about it. Who gives a fuck? But fuck Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk running his goddamn mouth, and he got dealt with. Just like any other would in this country. He got dealt with. Just because his skin color is white doesn't make him any different. He got dealt with. So one thing I know won't ever happen again, he won't run his goddamn mouth no more. That's what I said.
The irony of it all, that Charlie Kirk in the end still ends up leaning left, is all but just too comical.
My coworker was all in a tizzy because she gonna tell me that Charlie Kirk got shot, and I said good. So we get into this whole conversation about it, and she goes, well, you can't hate people for their political views. And I'm like, yes I can. Like, that's specifically why I hate people sometimes. You can't hate me for my views because my views don't infringe upon your rights. You don't hate me for what I believe in because it doesn't interfere with your life. Some of these views are dangerous. And I'm glad he got shot. Hopefully he dies. I don't care.
My original video about this got taken down, so I'm just gonna reiterate it. You're a fake leftist if you get on this app with your millions of followers and get upset that other people are celebrating the death of a vile, evil man. You getting on your platform of millions of followers and pointing the finger at those people and being like, you're vile, you're evil, you're bad. When again, those are survivors of that man's abuse. People who have literally had laws passed about them because of the things that man has said. I'm not sorry. I'm allowed to be excited that he's gone. I'm allowed to celebrate that. You are a fake leftist if you are shaming people who are happy. Okay? Okay.
Okay, these self-entitled little delusional brats truly get under my skin. I mean, you shouldn't ever, like, you know, invoke violence or anything, but sometimes you just have that vision, guys, where it's just you just want to take somebody and give them a good slap. But he's talking about survivors of that man's abuse. This guy considers himself a survivor of Charlie Kirk. And again, all of you in the transgender community, stop with the bullshit about all these rights are being taken away from you. You have the exact same rights as the person that's to your left and to your right. The only difference is now you don't have these special little privileged rights anymore that you had under the Biden administration. There's no laws that are being passed that directly affect you. If you're referring to any laws that Trump had passed about gender mutilation, if you're a grown adult, you're still in the clear. You can still do your thing. That was more directed towards children, which none of that bullshit should have been around in the first place. I've never seen a group of people, and there's a lot of groups out there that truly try to act all oppressed and victimized. I've never seen a group of people that want to act so much like the victim, yet they're so quick to throw a temper. They're pretty quick to get violent. We've seen a lot of video evidence of people in that community that have been quick to throw down and get violent over hearing words that they don't want to hear. And who he's bitching about here is Dean Withers. That's who he's referring to all this time. You know, Dean Withers, remember on day one when he found out about Charlie Kirk, he broke down. A lot of people didn't think it was authentic. I can completely validate that it's authentic. I mean, I've seen enough clips of him afterwards. He tried to roll it back a little bit and said, well, maybe there's a few things I shouldn't have said, because his fans have been attacking him from every single direction. And Dean Withers, to you, I don't see what else you need to wake up to realize that the majority of your fan base, if they want to attack you for being a person that shows some empathy for somebody who's on the other side, and these useless degenerates that are in his fan base just did nothing but attack him over and over and over. So Dean Withers, to you, if you ever see this video, which chances are you're never ever going to, what are you doing? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here saying, hey, you're on the wrong side. You got to come over to the right. No, but Why would you want to have people like this as your fan base? I know you got over 4 million followers, but why the hell? To me, it would be worth losing 2 million of them to get rid of people that have this type of mentality, like this young individual here that was just speaking. This is not worth hanging. This is just bad karma, bad energy. This is going to bring you nothing but bad luck in your life. These are mentally unstable, obviously mentally ill people that feel it's justified to murder somebody because they have a difference of opinion. Now, I know Dean Withers will always remain a leftist. He's got natural leftist woke mentality. He's pretty damn woke. But I don't think he aligns with those people that are super progressive, super far, the ones that are twisted in the head. I don't really think he aligns with those people. And if I was him, being at such a young age, he's already got a lot of followers. He'd pick up a lot of followers if he kind of left some of these ones behind. Maybe it's time to start leaning a little bit more center. Maybe left just isn't right for you because you're starting to realize the reality of violence in politics and the reality that people that really lean left are violent nut jobs. To Mr. Young Dean Withers, you got to be honest with yourself. A lot of people that seen you that day, when they seen your true emotions that came out that day, you won over a lot of new fans. And it's not because they think, hey, Dean Withers is going to leave the left and come to the right. No, they realize that you still have a shred of humanity in you. You're not like Harry Sisson. Harry Sisson went right back to what he normally does, pretty much instantly right afterwards. To this young individual here, I'm talking Dean Withers, I have hopes for him. I know a lot of people are still like, hey, he's still a leftist. Don't bother. But he did prove to the world that day that he does have humanity in him. He's got genuine emotions in him, not artificial fake empathy like most leftists do. And I don't see how anybody who's in touch with their true humanity would want to have anything to do with a fan base like this piece of shit right here.
So what's happening is called religious psychosis. This is a cult. This is a mass psychosis event based on a man that 2 weeks ago, I'd say 90% of them had no opinion of, and now apparently is the Messiah. That thing that happened yesterday, that memorial / celebration of life, I can't even call it that, was one of the scariest things I've ever seen as an American in my 46 years here on this earth. We're in a really, really big trouble because for these people to get activated like this means that they can be activated like this at any time, in any place, for any reason, against anybody. Yeah, we should all be really worried.
And if you look at it for real, Charlie would have wanted it this way. He was so for guns, so for the violence, that he died by one. Isn't that beautiful? Rest in peace, Charlie.
We have been watching black people die on camera for almost a decade now. Exactly, girl. Exactly. We have been watching Palestinians get shot, starved, bombed, all different types of shit on camera for the past 2 years. So if you want me to feel bad for that bitch, I shan't. I won't. I can't.
The amount of white men I have seen bending over backwards to share empathy and working to condemn people being either indifferent or celebratory for what occurred. Very bizarre. I don't know why y'all have more empathy and sympathy for a fascist than you do for women, for queer people, for people of color, for black people who aren't flagrant racist and misogynist. Something to think on.
Once and for all, the final word from Buzzy B. Teacher, the political satirist. The Democrats had nothing to do with the killing of Charlie Kirk. If you want us to be civil about it, then tell that to the orange shithead you call president.
Real quick question. Stick with me. Charlie Kirk is everywhere. Rightfully so. What happened to him was horrible. And I understand why people are mourning him. Like, it was disgusting. It shouldn't have happened. I've condemned all the cheering on and all of it since it happened. But now people on the right are saying that if you're not mourning Charlie, you're evil. If you didn't like him, you're evil. You're vindictive. You're the problem with this country. Across the board, regardless of how you felt about Charlie, you should be mourning his passing away. So, that being said, are you all going to do the same thing if something happens to Biden? Like, if something happens to Biden today, are you going to be mourning him tomorrow? Are you going to be posting pictures on your social media? Are you going to be calling out people that aren't mourning for Biden? Are you? It's a very simple question. Are you going to go after people that aren't mourning for Biden when something happens to him? Are you going to go after people that are talking trash about Biden? Plain and simple. If you answered no because you don't like Biden, then what are you talking about right now? Total hypocrisy. Y'all take care of yourself. Love you.
He was trying to have a little bit of a put you in a corner situation there. He wasn't really genuinely being a jerk about it though. I mean, he was trying to be a little bit more like, hey guys, I just really want to know, how would you guys react to this? But let's just get a few things clear first. When Joe Biden was diagnosed with terminal cancer, you've seen a lot of people on the right give their best wishes to him, wishing that he still has the fullest life that he can. You didn't see anybody saying, oh, good for him. You didn't see anybody getting up and dancing. You didn't see people fist pumping the air that he had cancer. Now let's keep another thing in mind. Charlie Kirk was 31 years old and he was a man of God. Joe Biden's like, what, 115? And he's a little bit of an artificial man of God. You guys all want to say that Charlie Kirk is a racist when you guys are just taking snippets out of context. Yet you don't really hear us pushing too hard about how racist Joe Biden was in his political career when we don't have to take snippets. We can just give you the full context of things that he said in Congress. There's also a massive difference from somebody who's an old man who's lived a full life, and he's lived a very wealthy, full life. He got to be the commander-in-chief of a country. And then to, let's say when it does happen, pass away from a terminal illness. That's very different than being out at a college campus or a university, 31 years old, having honest debate with people, honest discourse, trying to make, a good difference in this country, and getting a bullet in the neck. So I mean, to this gentleman here, I can see where he's trying to go with this, because he's assuming that people that are on the right, when Joe Biden does eventually pass away, that people on the right are gonna be like, oh, whatever, I didn't like Joe Biden, screw him, I'm happy he's gone. It's gonna shock you leftists, but that's not the reaction that you're gonna get out of people. We're always still gonna say he was a god-awful president, he was terrible, he was destroying your country, he was a treasonous president. But when he does pass away, you're still gonna get nothing but the best wishes out of our side. But overall, if that was supposed to be a put you in the corner, gotcha kind of comparison, it was a very weak and poor comparison. We're talking about an older man with a terminal illness who's lived a full life, a successful life already, compared to a younger man who was 31 years old, who was still very successful up until that point. He spread a lot of good, obviously. Everybody can see that in the past 14 days, who had his life stolen from him from a mentally ill person who did not agree with him, and then to have everybody else who's mentally ill as well with terrible, evil worldviews jump in front of cameras and celebrate that he was murdered in cold blood in public in front of his wife. So to this guy here, when Joe Biden does pass away, if you're expecting the world to mourn the same way that they've just been mourning for Charlie Kirk, never gonna happen. And not to say that Joe Biden won't deserve any mourning. There will be people mourning for him. It just will not even be close. It won't even be on the same level. And it's not even comparable. Again, one last time, good man, young, robbed of his life, compared to old man, not a very good person, lived a full life.
So of course, it only took a minute for Trump to use this for his political advantage. He doesn't care who gets killed. He doesn't even have that kind of empathy. He is before we even know who the shooter is, he's blaming it on left-wing organizations, and he's going to go after them. You know who's to blame? You are. You brought the hate to this country. You brought the sexism, the racism. This is on your head. And, all you want is a civil war, and you're going to do everything you can to get it. You're going to use this for that. You're pathetic and dangerous, and you should be stopped.
Holy fucking shit, he's dead? Fucking shit.
I saw the video of it. His last words were gun violence. I'll just say I think it's very fitting. I wish for him the same exact thing he said, you know, oh well, about those kids being shot in schools, as long as we have the Second Amendment.
We never have to hear something new from his fucking mouth ever again.
Oh my God, y'all. How is it literally possible that Charlie Kirk is more annoying now that he's dead? I really thought he maxed that meter out while he was alive. And not only is he more annoying now, but he's also less patriotic, allowing his legacy of free speech to just crumble in the name of fascism. So again, I ask Charles Kirk, was it worth it? I know you said it was, but was it?
Final post about this. You guys are actually giving more grace to Charlie Kirk than you are giving to literal children. Like, I'm being genuine. I have seen more grace given for this Nazi bigot than for actual children. Okay.
There is nothing normal about an administration at the head of this country who is vowing to go after its own citizens who have a different political leaning. This is the scariest thing I've heard out of this man all throughout this whole thing. He's going to designate liberals and liberal organization as terrorists. It's only a matter of time before we're in camps. I don't even know how the other side at this point can say this is okay. We may have different viewpoints, we may want different things, but we aren't terrorists. I'm just astounded. It gets scarier by the day.
So right out of the gate, to this lady here, any other lady who's run her age, who has her same thoughts about the situation here, do you consider yourself as part of Antifa? That's what she's talking about. President Trump didn't say, hey, we're going to designate all liberals as terrorists and I'm declaring war on all of them, because that's what I've been seeing on videos. I've been seeing a lot of liberals jump in front of cameras like they love to do, hit that record button, try and get all sympathetic, and they want empathy from the rest of the world to feel sorry for them because now President Trump has declared war on the left. You know, I really don't get it with you liberals here, because I just even seen a Canadian liberal who put up an article today on X, and she's talking about, well, you can't designate Antifa as a terrorist organization because, they're not an organization, they're an ideology. First of all, you guys really need to make up your mind here and get your story straight, because half of you say, well, Antifa doesn't even exist. The other ones are saying, oh no, it's just an ideology of people. Then other ones will acknowledge, like this lady here, that yeah, they are an organization. Now, Trump designated them as a terrorist organization. So what he did there is he awarded them two things. If they weren't an organization before, well, now they are. And he awarded them terrorism. They are now terrorists. You got a bunch of overweight liberals. That's what majority of them are. The foot soldiers are all overweight. They dress like ninjas and they want to get in everybody's faces. They all have like matching signs. They intimidate people. They try and silence people. They're supposed to be anti-fascist, right? But they kind of act a little bit like fascists. And they have the typical liberal character that, you know, they are big, bad, and tough as long as they don't think anybody's going to put a finger on them. Liberals are always extremely tough when they're in large groups, but as soon as somebody puts their hands on one of these Antifa guys, rips one of their masks off, oh my gosh, the way that they cover up their face and run away from cameras. So I truly do not get it, guys. Why do you liberals defend Antifa? Donald Trump had every right in the world to designate them as a terrorist group because they commit acts of terrorism. Look at what just happened today. Today is September 24th. In Texas, 3 people got shot at an ICE facility. Now, was the shooter a member of Antifa? I don't think so. His mother definitely had leftist ideology, but I mean, look at what you guys did. You're there to try and protect the detainees. You're there to protest against ICE detaining people. And the 3 people that got shot were detainees by the shooter. And I would also ask this, and any liberal out there, just answer honestly to yourself. As citizens, you liberals are truly like a bunch of bad kids in school. You guys are like the bad gang in school that constantly gets into trouble. Do you think Donald Trump would honestly be in the wrong if he designated all liberals that are antagonizing towards ICE and towards police officers and hindering them from doing their jobs of protecting the normal citizens, the ones who actually want, peace, freedom, they want to have closed borders, they just want to live in a good country that doesn't have a whole bunch of criminals and terrorists around? You guys are trying to stop your government from giving that to you. You guys are not allowing Donald Trump to liberate your free citizens. You guys are trying to stop that. This is acts of terrorism. You guys are committing acts of terror. You're working against the best interests of your country. So if Donald Trump were to label all radical liberals as terrorists, domestic terrorists, the enemy within, can you really blame him? Can you truly sit there and say, hey, I'm a good American citizen. I love my country. I love my neighbor. I don't think any of you can answer that quite honestly with the word yes, because I go through a lot of these videos. I see more liberals in a week's time than most liberals see. And I can genuinely state 8 out of every 10 of you do not even deserve to have your citizenship in that country. If you guys did not have your constitutional rights to protect you, there's a good chance a lot of you would be in jail by now. If you guys were living in another country that wasn't all woke and super left, there's a good chance you'd be in jail or worse by now. I would love to see you guys go move to China. Go try that bullshit that you pull in your country on your own soil. Go to China and try and pull that bullshit. Go to El Salvador and try and pull that. Go to Russia and try and pull that. You're gonna say, well, why are you naming all these countries that are dictatorships? Well, that's what you guys wanna call a dictatorship. You guys think that liberalism and socialism is the answer. If any of you truly had brain power like you claim that you do, and if you really had critical thought, you really had pattern recognition, keep in mind, I'm your next door neighbor. Canada's right beside you. And Canada's years ahead of you when it comes to liberal leadership. Take a real good look and look at what's happening in my country. I'll give you guys 2 things here that you guys can check out. Anybody can research this. Just tell me if this is something that you would be happy if Donald Trump tried to pass these bills. Look at Bill C2 and look at Bill C9 that the Liberal government is trying to pass out here in Canada. And tell me that that's not authoritarianism at its finest. At least a good attempt at it. So with this woman's concerns here, to all you older boomer liberals, you guys don't really have anything to worry about. You guys want to go do your little protests and tell people in MAGA hats that they're fascist. Okay, that's one thing. You guys can go and do that. That's not the worst thing in the world. But when you're defending Antifa, people that go out there with shields and weapons and they dress up like ninjas, I'm sorry, you're defending terrorism at that point. Antifa is not there for the best interests of the United States of America. That's for sure. And to the rest of you liberals that want to sit there, bitch, whine, moan, all the rest of it in front of cameras about how oppressed you are, you're living in a dictatorship, yet here, please take our guns away at the same time. Make it make sense at this point. You guys are nothing but a bunch of whiny, little, spoiled brats that think you're self-entitled. You think that you deserve to just milk off taxpayer dollars, yet at the same time, educate everybody else how you're such a better person than them, that you're standing on this moral high ground, that you're so empathetic and sympathetic for others, unless it's somebody who doesn't have the same worldview as you. So use a little bit of your brain power. Take a look at what's going on in other countries that ran the socialist program. It's never worked out historically. What you guys are trying to hope for, what you're trying to aim for, has never worked before, and it's not gonna work this time either. So stop sympathizing for terrorists, stop sympathizing for criminals, stop sympathizing for illegal migrants that are in your country. And once again, I've said it before, I'm gonna waste my breath saying it to you liberals once again, try putting your country and your neighboring citizens around you, try putting that first for a change. All right, guys, we are going to call it quits for this video at this point there. One thing I wanted to mention at the beginning of the video, I know I've been neglecting the comments a little bit lately, guys. I do apologize. You guys, some of you have left some really nice comments. Some of you have left some very informative stuff. Some of you guys have even asked me a couple questions here and there. I don't mean to ignore anybody. It's just been really busy lately. My head hasn't really been in the game as much, but I am getting back there. So once I do get this video edited, which will hopefully be very shortly, I'm gonna try and get more attentive on those comments. So, I do apologize there. Besides that, I'm rambling on as I usually do. You guys take care, keep your heads up. See you guys in the next video. Have a good one, guys.
I feel like I'm living in an alternate universe. I just checked Facebook, which usually is a large mistake, regrettable for sure, and saw a post by someone I know, and the post blew my ever-loving mind. Okay, now for context, the post was done by a Christian white woman who's married to a black man, and they have 2 sons. I used to babysit them when I first moved to LA, and I love them. They are lovely people, okay? I spent a lot of time with them. This makes no sense to me. She posted about how Charlie Kirk was such a wonderful, godly man who was leading people to Christ. Listen, I'm not a Christian anymore. I don't go to church. Y'all lost me for good when you voted Trump into office the first time and started the MAGA cult and all of it and started preaching from the pulpit that Trump was sent by Jesus to lead this country. It's crazy. Anyway, I'm not a Christian anymore, but based on the bajillions of verifiable quotes that came out of Charlie Kirk's mouth, I do not believe any of what you said to be true, because I missed that part of the Bible where God said that black men are incapable of being pilots. Remember that quote? Go Google it if you need to, even though it's horrifying. That quote where Charlie Kirk said, if I was on a plane and saw that the pilot was a black man, I would be concerned. That's his quote. He also spoke a lot about black women and how stupid he thinks they are. He said a black woman would be far too stupid to do appendix removal surgery. I got news for you, people. I'm not smart enough to do appendix removal surgery because I've never been to medical school. He said a bunch of terrible things about women. So many terrible things about women, and he and J.D. Vance view people like me who are child-free and single. By the way, the reasons for those things are my deep-rooted religious trauma. So there's that. He views us as having no value. I have no value because I am not incubating, I'm not making humans at all times. So all of these things, I missed those parts of the Bible when I was growing up in the church and was a devout Christian who memorized so much of the Bible, by the way. I missed the part where God was an overt racist and a bigot and a misogynist. Did anyone else, did I miss like some books of the Bible? It's like her post is like the 15th post like that I've seen from people I love, people I grew up with, and people some of whom I'm still friends with, some of, whom we're just acquaintances now. These posts about him being such a wonderful Christian and leading people to Christ, they're wild to me. And many things, multiple things can be true at once. I was weeping on Wednesday because his unaliving was so dark, okay, and should not have happened. And it was awful. And I feel terrible for his family and loved ones. It's horrible. We should not be having this in our country in 2025. And yet all the other things I've said in this video are true at the same time. Anyway, these posts are wild and I don't understand. It makes no sense to me. I don't understand. My friend deleted Instagram and TikTok from her phone yesterday because she couldn't take this anymore. I'm feeling similarly. I'm like on the edge of being done with all this social media right now because it is so confounding to me and it's crazy. I believe that we're all probably feeling similarly there.